Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another Thursday Live here at the Association of PEMF Professionals. This is for March 12th. In case you are wondering when this was recorded, if you're watching the replay, and also thanks for watching the replay. And also those of you that are live, feel free to hop on and comment as we go through today, but also drop in a comment after the recording, and we're more than happy to answer that as well. So let's just jump right in what's going on. And again, we want you to continue to help us with what's going on in Oklahoma and with House Bill 3239. And I guess I would call this the all hands on deck moment where, again, we can help move this issue. And for those of you that don't know, or those that are aware of what's going on, here is a kind of a backstory on it. So we're coming back to Oklahoma because this is still one of the most important PEMF legislative developments in the country. And the bill originally looked like a breakthrough because it created real state level certification pathway for animal PEMF practitioners. And then as the bill moved through the process, the PEMF pathway language was removed. And basically that changed everything. And the caveat to that too is if you are outside Oklahoma, your voice still matters, and we'll give you a couple of key things that you can do to help out with that. So stick around, even if you're not in Oklahoma. But what HB 3239 originally represented, as originally introduced, it was significant because it proposed a formal certification framework for non-human PEMF in Oklahoma. And then the earlier committee substitute language specifically referenced board certification for individuals using PEMF and included a new section allowing annual certification for those with training on non-humans and certification from AOPP or another board-approved organization, which was phenomenal. It's like that, we don't have to worry about this anymore. And it mattered because it pointed toward a middle ground, which was not unregulated use, but also non-veterinary only access either. So it was definitely the hybrid model we've been hoping for. But again, what changed is the core issue now is that certification pathway language was removed, and that version is now moving forward. And our website, we have a page on there for Oklahoma, and our blog, they're really clear on what's going on, so you can go there to read more about it. And today's broadcast is a synopsis of what's going on there. But it's going to move forward without reinstating the PEMF language. So it means the bill still may move, but without actually solving the PEMF issue that it was designed to do when it was originally addressed. And again, we don't know who removed it. We were really happy. We went there, we spoke, and they put the information in, and then somebody yanked it. So we don't know who. Maybe it was a 2-page bill, and page 2 fell out of the printer, and nobody saw it. And that would be a great worst-case scenario. But where the bill stands right now, like I was talking about, is the page shows they had first reading on February 2nd, and then it was referred to Commerce and Economic Development Oversight and Business on February 3rd, and then received a business committee policy recommendation on February 17th to do pass with the committee substitute. And we have all of these links that you see in blue. We have all of those available on our website. AOPP's most recent update adds that the bill advanced again after February 26th without a pathway being restored, like we were talking about. So the practical takeaway is this, that the bill is still alive, but the PEMF fix is not currently back in it. So the bill still needs to keep moving before it can clear its chamber of origin and then head to the Senate. The House deadlines are important here because the bills had to be out of oversight type committees by March 5th. And then the deadline for the third reading and final passage is on March 26th. So we're 2 weeks away from that happening. And that means that the window for fixing the bill is very narrow. And as you know, 2 weeks can evaporate like that. So the pressure is leadership, the House leadership, the bill authors, they're the high value targets, while the amendment opportunity still exists. So if we can, again, get their ear to say, hey, can you put that back? That is what we're striving for. So Oklahoma is not just about Oklahoma. It could become the model for all states. And so our position is that Oklahoma has a real opportunity to create a practical model for other states and regulators to replicate. So clearly the standards, the accountability is based on that. So for us as AOPP, we just have to go to these other states and say, you should really look at what Oklahoma did. That's the model that we think is going to really help everybody out. It's already written. It's just a matter of, copying that bill, adding your state name to it, and passing it, literally. But if they can successfully restore a certification pathway, then it gives our PEMF field stronger language and better precedent and a much better policy for future state conversations as well. And if it does not, the opposite lesson may be spread, that PEMF stays trapped in that gray area that we're trying to pop out of, where the interpretation is the default for the veterinarian system. And again, you can see why this is a problem, because without clear language, practitioners, animal owners, even vets are left trying to interpret what the new ruling is. And we've emphasized that this is about standards, accountability, and collaboration and public protection, not about avoiding oversight. And a strong bill should not force ethical providers to guess where the line is. You guys are already doing a bang up job. It just needs to be allowed to continue to happen. So again, the ask that we're asking you guys to do is very reasonable and simple. We're just urging lawmakers to amend House Bill 3239 to do one or both of two things. Number one, to reinstate the PEMF certification pathway and or explicitly exclude PEMF from the definition of veterinary medicine for qualified non-veterinary providers operating within a clear set of boundaries. And that this is the message supporters should stay disciplined around. And then who supporters should contact? Again, start with the bill sponsors. So again, Representative Tony Hasenbach and Senator Casey Murdoch. We've got a list of a few more here on the next slide. And then contact House leadership and the Commerce and Economic and Development Oversight Chair, because the AOPP identifies them as high leverage for getting floor amendments heard. The issue here is not sending one emotional message. It is sending a respectful, consistent, professional message to the right people. And again, I think if they had the time to hear both sides of the story, it would make sense to them. If they knew the background of PEMF and all of the great things that we're able to do in the animal side of it, and that we already have the protocol in place, and even vets that are using PEMF or have never heard of it, when they begin to do that, they go to AOPP to learn about best practices too. So we're there, we're already there. It's just a matter of pointing the true north towards what we're doing to help people with PEMF. So other people to reach out to: Speaker Kyle Hilbert, Majority Leader Mark Lawson, and then Representative Brian Hill. So those are people that can affect change on this bill on the floor, and to get that piece that was already written just put back in. So they don't have to do anything else other than take what was there and put it back in. So what supporters should actually say: again, keep the message respectful, short, and to the point. Ask lawmakers to restore a clear legal pathway for animal PEMF sessions in House Bill 3239. Specifically ask them to reinstate the PEMF certification pathway and or clearly exclude PEMF from the veterinary scope for qualified non-veterinary providers. And again, refer to our website page for that contact info, and you can go right onto the website right now and find that to learn more. And then some call to actions that we suggest. If you're in Oklahoma, your voice carries special weight because you are a constituent. If you're outside Oklahoma, again, your voice still matters because it's about what kind of model states will bring forward. So AOPP explicitly states supporters from across the country can help draw attention to the issue. And again, call, email, and share, then ask one or two other PEMF supporters to do the same. It doesn't have to be just PEMF users. And again, you can ask them to do that as well, give them this information. And then again, this is the moment to be respectful, visible, and persistent. Being part of that community, again, says a lot about who we are as PEMF providers. So the closing message is Oklahoma showed the field what progress could look like. Now the work is making sure that progress does not disappear before the bill crosses the finish line. And then this is bigger than just one bill. It is about whether PEMF gets treated through clear standards and legal structure or just remains stuck in uncertainty. Then again, we need supporters to keep contacting Oklahoma leadership and keep asking for the certification or exclusion language to be added back. And then also, if you value PEMF, you need to, one, be trained, be part of the association in your state, be ready to advocate and contact reps, be patient and diligent, and it may take more than one attempt. Yeah, so true. And how many people does it take to bend the ear of the legislatures, and to get this added? That's, another great question. And hopefully, if you can imagine 1,000 people, if you can imagine 2,000 people, not only PEMF providers, but that are also receivers of PEMF, those of you that, have farms, have horses, even the race community, all of you that use PEMF, this is definitely a call to action, and get a hold of everybody. So we'll have that information, like I said, on our website. If you are not a member, this is why we ask you to become one, because you get to have inside information on how to affect change for your profession. If you are a PEMF user and you're watching this, great. If you want to use this video that we're making right now to send to the legislature, we're more than happy to have to talk with them as well. I think the more that they know, that the more they'll see that this inclusion or bringing it back makes a lot of sense, because it really does make that definition for PEMF a lot more understandable. So again, like, share. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Share all that information. That would really be helpful for us. And take the time today for this to happen. Again, we only have 2 weeks. And this is already, the end of this week. So if it's business days, we've only got a handful of those as opposed to counting the weekend. So 10 business days to get this information in front of them. And they may already have in the next couple of days where they're going to look at it one more time and then, send it on to have it done. I don't know how their system works, if they pull it back out and add it, or if it's sitting on their desk right now and we just need to give them a few more phone calls or emails. So with that, drop in the chat below if you've had a chance to do it, or if you've spread the word, and that really does help. The more grassroots we can be on this. So with that, I will end today's broadcast, and I'll be making my phone calls and emails as well. So, with that, take care, and we will see you next week. And hopefully, we'll have a even more clear update of what's going on with this House bill. Take care, and we'll see you next week.